I have the rangefinder back on the camera body. I'm just checking that these screws are tight. They weren't. The arm is moving freely now. It needed a little bit of work to get that arm moving as smoothly as it should do, but it's working absolutely fine now. As for cleaning the rangefinder, this is a semi-silvered mirror at this end. The silvering will be on this inside face. This side's plain glass. I've cleaned that plain glass side. At this end, there's a prism block. I can't get access to those surfaces easily, not without a lot of dismantling. And so I haven't cleaned those surfaces on the prism block. This lens on the front here, excuse me, well, it's interruptions day here today, so back to talking about this rangefinder. Cleaning it. The internal surface of this mirror at the end, the semi-silvered mirror, leave it alone. You'll take the silver off it. This surface here, by comparison, is plain glass. You can clean that. I cleaned this window at the front, only the front surface. I didn't remove it and clean the rear surface. You can see that it's sealed in there with lacquer. It could be a bugger to get that out, and it may well, the position of that may well make a difference to the focus of the image, so I left that well alone. So you can say that I did minimal cleaning of the internal components of the rangefinder. The prism surfaces I haven't cleaned. Will that cause me a problem? Well, no. I took the top cover and cleaned the windows in the top cover. They were very, very grimy. Upon cleaning the windows in the top cover, it immediately made the rangefinder nice and bright and clear. So before I'd cleaned the top cover, the rangefinder looked a bit unexciting. It was not sharp, the contrast was relatively low. Cleaning these windows in the top cover, front and back, made all the difference in the world. And of course, this is hardly a difficult job at all to do things like that, because that's just plain glass really. No silvering involved and very hard to damage them. So if you're trying to sort out your problems with rangefinders and cleaning and things, be conservative. Don't clean every last little component, particularly if you're in danger of doing damage on the way. In this case I've been conservative and it's worked in my favour. I'm not expecting any problems with that. The rangefinder looks good. The rangefinder adjustment is out. But I did mention earlier there's an adjustment screw here which is available through a port at the front of the camera. And the screw that goes here is just a little cover. So I'm going to clean up this top cover and fit it back in place. So this top cover I'm just going to clean here with a bit of naphtha. The chrome quality here is not particularly high. A lot of these marks are not going to come out. It's where the chrome is effectively gone. And I can see copper underneath the chrome coming through there in spots. But however that might be, I'm going to clean this top cover up as well as I can clean it. And if I can't get all the marks off, at least I'll get lots of them off. The back of the top cover here is noticeably worse. That's quite a bit of chrome loss there. Sometimes you'll see an effect like that if that's where a camera is grasped by the user, and basically it means that their perspiration and skin oils and so forth have corroded away the finish at that point, but I'm not sure that's the case with this camera. Holding this in my hand, I can't see putting my hands all over the top cover being a necessary thing to do. So I'm just checking the state of the glass. I've cleaned this and it looks pretty good. This is interesting, this top cover. Looking here, I can see like a glue line or something here. I'm not sure what's gone on there. Now there was 2 screws from this top cover. And they had nuts on the other side. I know that the metal is comparatively thin there, but I would have thought that was an unnecessary extra. Just spin that on and its mate. And those I'll just twist into place tight with a pair of pliers. That's fine. So that's my top cover. Take a last look at this. Blow out a speck of dust that I can see in the rangefinder there. Now that's on the semi-silvered mirror and I am not going to touch that. Yeah, there's a couple of spots there. They're going to stay. I'll just put a smear of synthetic grease on the cam that the rangefinder arm runs on, which is here. I'll run some synthetic grease on the cam surface for the focus, which is here. I've got the core for the shutter release here. That's the piece that would be pressed down by a cable release. And I will fit my top cover in place. Now this is a very tight fit on the body. There it is. So the screws. I think there are 4 screws holding this in place. The top cover is really tight fitting, it doesn't press into place easily. Two here at the back. Now I know that there is absolutely minimal clearance between the shutter release button and the focus knob on this camera. Just trying to line this hole up a bit better. That's a pretty awful fit. The manufacturing problem here is that the holes in the top cover do not have sufficient clearance. They are too neat to the size of the screws. So there's no allowance to come and go on there. Right, where's that last screw? Oh, with those screws in position, I can put my focus knob in position. Now, the infinity position should be right at the back here, like that. So I get these three screws in place. Now that screw is a chrome screw. And it's in better condition. No, I'll leave it exactly where it is. I'm not looking for trouble. I was going to swap something over, but that's overkill. Our scale that goes on the top, our depth of field scale. Depth of field scale can go on the top of the focus knob now. So I just need to give that a quick wipe to remove any oil and rubbish. That goes on like that. Let's give that a wipe. And we have these two trim screws. Check if that's okay. That looks fine. Does it clear my focus? The shutter release, it does. So the knob clears the shutter release, I'm pleased about that. And at the other end of the top cover, we've got our rewind, what's that? Yes, that's our advance knob. And there are two washers that sit on the top of there. That's one of them. Now this has a spring in it, so it'll only revolve in one direction. And where's my other washer? There's my other washer. That knob screws down. Just pull that up tight. Don't need to go mad doing that up, it's not going anywhere. Now on top of that, there's some nasty dried grease here, so I want to get rid of that. And likewise on the back of the film reminder dial. Now I think that there was a small collar in there, which would be that thing. There was. Then we have the screw. Let's run that down. There's no wavy washer or spring or anything under there to provide any decent friction. So I think the film reminder would be all over the place. Let's just check this screw. That's tight. Don't want to overdo the tightening of things like that. They're quite small thread sizes, quite large heads on them. You can easily apply too much torque and end up breaking the things off. Of course, you'll never find another shiny chrome one to replace it. So, my rangefinder adjustment at the front now I need to deal with. So I will find a suitable size screwdriver to go through that hole. Will it meet up with the head of the screw? That's the next thing. I'm not feeling anything. Oh yes. Okay, I'm engaged. Alright, well, I'm going to adjust that, see how I get on. Back when I've got that correct. Well, adjustments here, the adjustments required were very slight and easily achieved. So I'll just put this cover screw back in place. One last clean of my glass here. And the taking lens too. So there we have it, a press van 120 from Suzuki Optical Company or Optical Corp Limited, and from the mid-50s. So that one's good. That one can go back to its owner Well, it will do once I service its brother, because I've got 2 of these to do. And that's how you deal with one of those. Thanks for watching.